Hey, welcome to the One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute with your host, the alchemist of Indiana's Black Forest, Alan Bishop. Hey, this channel is all about home distilling and legal distilling. If you've got questions, reach out to us in the comments below, social media, or via bishopshomegrown@gmail.com. And don't forget to check out thealchemistcabinet.com. Hey guys, hope everybody's doing well out there. Just had a few minutes this evening after work to answer some of your distilling related questions and give you a quick update. Old Homestead unofficially opens its tasting room this coming weekend. So in the tasting room, you will find White Sunshine, you will find Newton Stewart, you will find cinnamon, lemon, butterscotch, root beer, and black cherry Sunshine. You will find, I believe, Black Forest Peach and Black Forest Apple, and maybe 9 Herb Charm, as well as a great selection of cigars. So, come on out and check it out. This is not a grand opening. No guarantee that I will even be there this weekend, but the tasting room itself is open. The distillery itself, as far as tours, is not open yet, but the tasting room will be open this weekend. So, come on out and check it out and let us know what you think of our spirits. Looking forward to that as well. The 2025 Practical Distiller's Almanac Physical Edition is finally almost here. It is actually moving through the system. We are tracking it daily, and we'll go out to you as soon as I have it in hand. And then new physical copies will go up at thealchemistcabinet.com as soon as that gets here, guaranteed. And we'll keep physical copies on hand of all the books moving forward 100%. The 2026 edition, nearly finished with. I'm actually doing some illustrations for it right now. So all that being said, let's get right into some questions here. So from Brad, I am extremely appreciative of all that you do for the home distiller community. What would your opinion be of running my column still with plates without the deflator? Do you think it could make a good moonshine or whiskey or rum with this, I can't tell what that word is, basically with this setup? If so, how many plates would you suggest that I run? Could I do a single run, or would I have to do a stripping run? Please let me know if I'm barking up the wrong tree. Thanks again. So I might have answered this one before. I can't remember. It seems vaguely familiar, so forgive me if I have. You're not really going to get the separation you want without running that D-flag. You really need that D-flag to get the separation of the azerotypes and the stacking on the plates that you want, and to even really be able to load the plates the right way. They're not going to do a whole lot for you other than give you just a little bit of reflux and a little bit more copper contact if you don't run that D-flag. I would highly recommend either running the D-flag and actually loading the plates. I like to run a couple plates at a time, maybe 2, maybe 4, depending on the kind of proof you're getting. Typically on a single pass distillation, I like to try to hold somewhere around the 130 mark, sometimes even 125. I have run as low as 112 for fun on single pass. It really depends on what you're looking for as far as flavor goes and mouthfeel goes and that sort of thing, because it's going to have a huge effect on that. If you're not going to run the D-flag with the plates, my suggestion would be to just do a simple double pot still run and do a stripping run followed by a spirit run, as opposed to trying to run the plates without a D-flag. I really, really think you need that D-flag to get the quality that you're looking for and to get any kind of real results out of that particular setup. So moving forward from Jaden. And so these got cut off a little bit because we ran out of printer paper, because we had a house full of young ladies hanging out with my daughter the other day, and they used all of my printer paper. So this got actually printed on cut down lined paper, and it cut part of it off. So I do apologize. I will try to fill in the blanks as I go. When experimenting with freeze distillation, since I very first started fermenting my own hooch years ago, I've recently challenged to freeze distill enough cider to fill a Badmo barrel. As I've been working on this project, it's gotten me thinking about using freeze distillation as a sort of stripping run alternative. Obviously, on a commercial scale, this would be ridiculously impractical, but on a small scale, I feel this could be a way to improve and enrich flavors in a final product, especially a fruit brandy. Do you think freeze distilling something to 25 to 30% before doing a spirit run and a pot still would help more flavors carry over? Would it be a significant enough improvement to warrant the pain in the ass of freezing 5 gallons of cider or wine at a time in a chest freezer until you had enough to justify a spirit run? Just curious as to what your thoughts on this concept might be, as I can't find anything online about anyone trying it out before and reporting back. So I think it could be interesting. What I would say is it's a lot like a single pass, even with a single plate or a double plate. of apple brandy. I do think that you would probably get a lot of flavor out of it. I will tell you that. I also think that it would be one of those things that you wouldn't want to drink a whole lot of at one time. It'd be much more like a schnapps, right? It'd be something where you're going to do a shot of it and have a beer or two, and or have a shot with a beer sort of thing, but not sit down and drink a whole lot of it, because I suspect you'd pay for it the next morning. Now, in terms of flavor, I think it would be absolutely amazing. It'd really pull a lot of flavor and a lot of characteristic through from the apples. I like freeze distilled Applejack. I'm always careful with it, again, because you are concentrating the methanol and various other components that are not necessarily good for you. So, use in moderation, but you guys know that sort of stuff. You guys are distillers, so you understand how that sort of thing works. The only other thing I would say is that the freeze distilling not only is not going to separate the methanol, but you're not going to get a good Azero type breakdown of all the other chemical components in there. Again, that's not a concern if you're looking for flavor and aroma. If you're looking for flavor and aroma, it's going to do exactly what you want to do. But if you want a spirit that you can sit down and drink a good little portion of without, having a lot of health consequences from it down the road or even the next day, I don't know that I would count on freeze distillation to give me that sort of product. But I don't also think that it's a terribly bad idea. In fact, I wonder if maybe the answer might be yes, but maybe do a run like this where you freeze distill and then do a spirit run and then do a regular double pot distill run. And then maybe you blend them like 1 to 3 or something like that, right? To where you're getting the flavor components of that freeze distilled strip followed by spirit run, and then the actual cleanness and the finesse of the double pot still run, if that makes sense. Use it as a blending component, an enriched blending component. Might even be worthwhile to do a whole a whole Badmo barrel of this freeze distilled stuff and a whole another Badmo barrel of regular double pot distilled apple brandy, and use those, aged separately from one another, and then once they're matured, blend them back together, or maybe even blend them together and go back into another Badmo. That's another option. So just thinking out loud here, because I thought that was kind of a really interesting question. So let's see what else I got here. If I got another short one I can get into, give me just a second. All right, so from my buddy Bob in Costa Rica, Alan, hope all is on track for your new life's journey. My question is about the Maillard reaction, and specifically about roasting malted sunflower seeds. After malting and drying, I have now been roasting them in my oven on cookie sheets at 295 degrees Fahrenheit for 60 to 90 minutes to allow for some Maillard reaction to take place. Then I crush them lightly with mortar and pestle and separate the crushed seeds from the hulls, and just add the crushed seeds to my fermentation. Since the Maillard reaction takes place between 284 degrees to 330 degrees Fahrenheit, do you think roasting at the upper temperature might be favorable? I got cut off there. At the upper temperature, I don't know, it says might be favorable to the lower range. I've noted in my process that the aroma does not change notably and favorably towards the end of my roast time, or does change notably and favorably towards the end of my roast time. I haven't tried roasting at the lower temperature range. Also, can the roasting and Maillard reaction cause any off flavors in the final distillate? Maybe not generally, but in some of the cuts. At what temperature do you roast your malted sunflower seeds? Thanks again for your time you dedicated to your channel. So, Bob, I'm really not that scientific about it with the malted sunflower seeds at all. So, I don't even check the temperature. I will tell you exactly what I do. So I roast those sunflower seeds over top of hardwood charcoal in a pizza oven outside. And what I'm looking for is I put those sunflower seeds in there when they are still moist, and I'm watching the sprouts. And what I'm wanting is I want those sprouts to turn brown, and I want to smell the roasted aroma, and maybe even have potentially the edges of those sunflower seeds in my pans burnt a little bit. I'm not really watching the temperature all that closely. The other thing I will tell you is that I do not remove the hulls from the seeds. The hulls contain a lot of the oils. They also contain a lot of the flavor. And so I leave those in the actual mash. I, of course, grind them up to go into the mash, but I leave them in the mash as a part of the flavor component. And it's a very vital part of the type of sunshine that I make at Old Homestead Distillery. I know that I'm getting some Maillard reaction stuff going on, but I'm not purposefully trying to pin down exactly how much or when or where, or to have exact consistency between batch to batch, but I'm also blending batch to batch, right? So I might make 15 runs and they all end up in the same tank. I could probably be a lot more scientific about it than what I am, but because it is a folk style spirit, and in the spirit of Moonshine Mike Stallings, and in the spirit of the way that I sort of nonchalantly have done things at home over the years, I've very specifically chosen with that product to stay very unscientific with it, to keep it very much in a folk distilling sort of tradition of, you know, this is the way we do it, except when we don't do it this way, right? That sort of thing. So I wish I had better answers for you than that, but that's really the truth of how I kind of handle that situation, man. As you keep playing around with that, I would love to hear more about the experiments and about what you're finding out from the process in particular. I can tell you that I have gone too far and I've burnt some beyond recognition, and you definitely will get off flavors from that for sure. I will tell you that the quality of your charcoal will give you different flavors. The quality of your sunflowers will give you different flavors as well. So just bear all that in mind. But anyways, guys, I think that's all for now. I'll probably record one more video this evening. But as always, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me at bishopshomegrown@gmail.com. YouTube comments below. Or, or any of my social media. You know what? I go all day and I don't have any problems speaking. And I don't have any problems with having hiccups. And then the minute I press record on these fucking videos, it happens every time. Love y'all. Later.